funded their own existence, the gig killed.
Oh, well, I'll read it because, in fact, anyone who's had to put their parent in a home, especially because of dementia, it's one of the. There's not a lot of humour in it. But look, I'll guarantee that we'll get to a funny place. So hang in there. My sister's name is Julie. Julie arrived. This is the morning Mum went into the home. Julie arrived, and we had to tell Mum that she was going into respite. She's no fool. She knew what respite could mean. She busied herself cleaning up the house. I packed her small vinyl suitcase, finding a new toilet bag which had a new toothbrush, toothpaste and a cake of soap in a container that she'd obviously had ready in case of an emergency. For 50 years, Mum had lived in her home, and here we were on this seemingly normal day, packing her bag, all of us knowing deep down she would never set foot inside it again. It was time to go. Mum said, "Hang on, there's something I've got to do." She went inside and ironed a hanky, which she put in her handbag. She straightened the towels in her bathroom and folded the face washer and put it neatly beside the basin. Julie and I were seated in the hostel manager's office. We'd been greeted at the locked doors of the dementia unit by a happy, black curly-haired dog and an enormously fat cat. The manager explained that this respite bed was in fact a permanent place if we decided that's what we wanted. Without hesitating, Julie and I said, "We want it." It was then explained that the accommodation bond would cost $200,000. "Oh," I said, trying to sound casual. "And how do we get that sort of money? Does your mother own a house?" "Yes." "Well, you sell it." And I go on to talk about how we sell the house, and this is, it goes on, Mum going into the unit, and this is about the first time, well, it's self-explanatory. The first time I took our dog, Raffy, and Raffy's a little, scruff bucket, mutt sort of dog. The first time I took our dog, Raffy, to the hostel, he was so overcome that he did a big poo in the middle of the dining room, sitting room area. I didn't have a bag on me, and I couldn't attract a member of staff. So I desperately tried to stop elderly people from walking on it. One resident, who at that stage of her Alzheimer's could only speak French, was heading straight for it. "Non, Leonie, non, ne marche pas, merde, Leonie, merde." I was doing my best with my limited recall of schoolgirl French. Leonie looked at me as if to say, "You're standing astride a piece of poo, speaking in weird French, and I'm the one in the dementia unit?" I leant down and apologised. To an old lady sitting nearby. She looked at me incredulously. "Why are you apologising, darling?" "Well, because my dog has just done a big poo at your feet, Teresa." She was adamant. "You must never apologise for something like that. After all, darling, we all do it, don't we?" "Sure, I agree with you, Teresa, we all do poo, but not usually in the middle of a public dining room." She leant towards me conspiratorially. "Actually, darling, I think most of us in here have done exactly that." And in fact, that little quote gave me a good idea, so on the way out, I just said to the girl at reception, "I think one of the residents is..." There we go. And actually, just on the dementia thing, my mum always really was very, very embarrassed by my choice in career and really didn't like my stand-up comedy. And now, at this stage of her Alzheimer's, she thinks I'm a waitress and she's thrilled to bits. So, there are a lot of positives that come with dementia. Everybody's happy in our house.
So what did she ask you about coming to Byron Bay?
Well, she won't remember, but I do say I've got to go away, Mum, and she'll go, "Oh, what are you doing? Are you waitressing?" And I say yes. Byron Bay's short of them at the moment, so yes. I'll get back and she'll say, how was it? And, oh, good, what were you doing? Were you waitressing? Yes. How was that? Oh, it was tremendous.
Tom, are you up here waitressing as well?
Yeah, I did a little bit just last night. Yeah, it was good. Went well. Got a lot of tips.